Hi, this is Larry Menti. Welcome to the Delaware Way. This is the time of year where you're going to see a lot of food drives and a lot of people carrying bags of canned goods to give to food banks. But Kim Turner, who is the communication director of the Food Bank of Delaware, is here to remind you that they need food all year long. I guess this is the big time, though.
It is, and we appreciate all of the community coming together to ensure that we can get hot holiday meals on the tables of families in need. But once January rolls around and it's a new year, oftentimes people forget that hunger exists year long. So we want to encourage people that we need their help year long.
How are you doing right now?
Right now we're doing great. Our drivers are constantly on the road picking up our collection barrels, dropping off donations to our partner organizations. So right now is one of our busiest time of year. A lot of cash donations are coming in the door, which is incredibly helpful because then we can direct that money to whatever our needs are throughout the year.
And when you have, when it's this time of year, is it organizations that organize the food drives on their own that help you out? Is that where a lot of this is coming from?
I would say that it's everybody in the community. A lot of our corporate partners do host food drives, but then we'll also hear stories of little kids who send out flyers to their neighbors and then go around and collect with a wagon. We have two kids, Natalie and Jack. They've been doing their annual food drive probably more than 7 years now. So now they're no longer little kids, they're teenagers. So it's nice to see the kids grow with the food bank. So they've been doing their food drive for a long time. So we love those kind of stories.
Where are Natalie and Jack from?
They live in Newark. So they blanket their neighborhood with flyers a week before with a list of our most needed items. And then they say, we'll be back in a week to collect your canned goods, and people will just put them by their front door or mailbox.
And they go around with a wagon?
Yep. Natalie goes around with a wagon. I'm not sure what Jack's method of pickup is, but Natalie is the wagon girl, as we refer to her.
and this is such a wonderful story. How long have they been doing this now?
About 7 years. So it's very inspiring. We have kids who, instead of having birthday gifts at their birthday parties, they have canned goods or people donate money. So we love seeing little kids come out to the food bank because it really shows that it doesn't matter how old you are. We really can all make a difference in the community.
So now the holidays are over. I know you're going to get a lot for the holidays. The holidays are over. Let's say it's getting to be January 15th or into February. How far down do the contributions dip at that point?
I would say probably 80,000 pounds of food less in the month compared to December and January. What we see in January is we've already gotten a taste of cold weather here in Delaware. Once January, February roll around, we see very high electric bills. So oftentimes a lot of families are choosing between buying a bag of groceries or paying for their utilities. So that's where we step in by providing that emergency food assistance so people can direct their money to other bills that they might have to pay.
And there's something more to it than that, though, because everywhere you look during the holidays, before Christmas and before Thanksgiving especially, everywhere you look, they're talking about a food drive. Everywhere you go, there's some place to drop off canned goods, and then they just disappear. But you raised a great point. People are hungry all year long.
That's right. It's a problem 365 days a year. If you're hungry on December 25th or on Thanksgiving, you're most likely struggling in February or March as well. So we know that with the holidays, we associate holidays with a meal and gathering. So we want to be able to provide people with the basic necessities they need, not just during the holidays, but year long.
Is hunger in this country a priority thing? I mean, and when I'm saying that, I'm talking about individually, not as a nation or not as givers, but you said something that struck me when you said you allow them to be able to, because they have other bills, so they don't have to spend money on food so they can pay their electric, so they can pay their mortgage, so they can pay some other payments, where if they had to go out and buy food, which is, of course, the most important thing, they may not be able to make these other bills. Is that fair?
That's absolutely fair. That's what we see. We have a person, there's a new program called Stand By Me, which is a financial literacy program. We actually have a Stand By Me financial counselor at the food bank now so that they can go out to people who are low income and try to help them and guide them through their monthly bills and let them know of what types of benefits, like there's free cell phone service. So utilize the free cell phone service. That way it frees up extra money to either buy medications or pay for food. So we look at hunger and poverty from all different angles. We know a lot of people don't have job training. We have a culinary school at our food bank where we train individuals who are underemployed or unemployed. We teach them culinary skills so that we can help them obtain a job that will lead to self-sufficiency.
And do they then cook for you so they can feed the homeless and give them better meals? Or,
So the way
I don't mean to say homeless because it's not always homeless,
right.
I understand. But to feed the people who need food.
So some food banks do operate their culinary school in that manner. We have an after-school nutrition meal program for kids where we actually use volunteers to prepare thousands of meals each week for kids who may be at risk of hunger in the evening. So we send meals to different after-school programs. So our culinary school students actually don't help with that. We have a great team of volunteers that come in. So our culinary students are going to internships in local food service companies. They're doing hands-on skills. They're doing classroom work. All of our students have the opportunity to become Serve Safe Certified, which is a National Restaurant Association designation. A lot of employers today want that certification because food safety is so important. So we really provide our students with a great opportunity to get as many skills as they need to, not only to succeed in the food industry, but also in their daily lives.
I want to talk a little bit more about because people give to the food bank, and a lot of times they don't know where that food's going, and a lot of times they don't know what effect that has. And so when people give a can, I'd like to trace it through and end up with a person, and you tell me what the reaction is, and you tell me why it's important once it gets there when we come right back.